No. 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 No.
No. Okay. There is no way that multi-billion-dollar companies like Google and Apple and the Zuckerpope's Book of Faces would be dumb enough to make it a thing and elevate a conspiracy theorist whack job that researches things less thoroughly than the Young Turks and take this person and elevate them to the status of free speech cyber martyr. They wouldn't do it. It's not in their best interests. It's a thing. Independent media is talking about it. There's news stories. Or at least nobody else is piled on, right? Oh, they have. LinkedIn is removing professional profiles, claiming people violate terms of service. There's mail services banning emails. What, Twitter's the same one? Yeah, that was my week. Alright, I really don't want to spend a lot of time on this. As we all know at this point, big companies, Apple's what got the flutter going on, but it wasn't just Apple. Facebook and Google did it at the time, but, and now a bunch of others, like Mailchimp, Disqus, and LinkedIn have piled on. But strangely enough, not Twitter. Twitter goes, yeah, you don't kill a conspiracy by pouring gasoline on it. And I agree with the assessment that Infowars is a conspiracy theorist organization helmed by Alex Jones. Since it was founded in 1999, and it's promoted a crapload of poorly researched conspiracy theorists, ranging from 9/11 was an inside job to, everybody's out to get you, and some people find this comical and consider it satirical. Other people take it seriously. I have never found it entertaining on either front. I just kind of like, okay, yep, don't need to watch that. But basically, they research less than the Young Turks. But there's a debate going on about what this is really about. Was this about the lack of poor research, that it's all conspiracy theorists and, quite frankly, inflammatory and hyperbolic content? Or, is this an attempt to more control the narrative of the 2018 midterm elections? Because we are, months out from that. I'm not going to make a comment either way, because the reality is the story keeps changing as the week's gone on about why the mass deplatforming of Alex Jones. And quite frankly, as the reasons change, it makes less sense. I'm going to basically play counter advocate and try and walk through the logic of this. If this was, hey, we need to control the narrative for the 2018 midterms, this is the dumbest time to do this. It really is. If you wanted to do that, you needed to do it back in 2016, so as we got to the midterms, now people don't remember. I guess it could be long-term thinking for the 2020 presidential election, but flat out, that's still going to blow up in the face. For the midterms, it's definitely stupid, because there are people who will take one look at this and they're like, I hate Alex Jones. Alex Jones is an idiot. You've promoted an idiot, a conspiracy theorist moron, to free speech martyrdom. And you probably did it supporting the Democrats. For people who believe that, for people who believe this was some kind of virtue signal to support the DNC, they will vote against the DNC. They will go, well, screw it. This action by all these companies has probably given the Republicans a few more Senate seats than they would have had without it. One or two that are close races are probably going to shift the other direction now. If this was done to control the narrative and shift the elections, it's stupid. It's a counterproductive strategy that will have the opposite result. If you go into the comments that are handing in, because I mean, God, this is going nuts on social media and various platforms and so on. You know, people are making the comments like, so much for free speech. Sure, let's remove conspiracy theorists, but leave the pedophile videos up and going strong. Yes, Apple, how else may we follow your agenda? You know, we don't need government censorship. The mob does that just fine on their own. And that's the general tone that you get from these things. I'm just going to nip the whole First Amendment aspect of this, and it gets sticky really quick. Because here, the dead honest fact is, you have rights in the United States, and those rights extend to control over your property. Companies are private property. So the reality is, a private company can deplatform, censor, and turn away whatever damn business they want. Long term, as an entrepreneurial business type, I'll tell you right now, giving your customers the finger, or your user base the finger, even if they're not the direct source of your revenue, but indirectly what gives you a platform to create revenue, is the dumbest thing you can do. But they have the right to do that. Nobody said the government has to make you be wise and control you, and they can't. Where this gets to be sticky and a little weird is that elected officials are hyping on this. The fact is, the gov can be absolutely no part of hindering speech and so forth. My personal ethics have always been, I do not need to shut the other moron up. I just need to stand up and go, hi, you're a dumbass, because supported by, check this fact here. Hi, if you take 30 seconds to Google it, and if you take 20 more seconds to Bing it, and then you go look at the international facts, holy shit, they're full of crap, and it doesn't make any sense because of everything they omitted. The rules of debate and calling fallacy are really an easy way to spot this stuff. Just a tiny bit of critical thinking. I prefer to err on the side of, rather than control the narrative, empower the masses to think critically. It's a very annoying, grueling process, but it is the ultimate vaccine against this crap. Aside from the whole political narrative conspiracy thing, it's also going to be counterproductive if this is an effort to basically purge Alex Jones. Again, Alex Jones is a conspiracy theorist. His audience base is one of two people. Either people who are basically like, he's worse than the Onion and the Young Turks, I need the popcorn. Or people who legitimately believe everything he says. So this is basically what's happened. There's a conspiracy. They're out to get you. They're coming for you. And the response to this was to go get this person, get them, deplatform them, and basically pour gasoline on the fire of everything they've ever said. The net result of this is going to be Alex Jones will be bigger than he's ever been. So as someone who hates Alex Jones, thanks, Google and Apple overlords. What the heck were you thinking? Why? Why did you take a conspiracy nutist and elevate them to the status of victim free speech martyr? Again, free speech doesn't apply, but that's what's happened here. In the social commentary, in the cloud, in the community, in the nation, basically, you made this person a victim to moderates, a martyr to the far right, and the only people you're virtue signaling to already hated his guts anyways and weren't going to listen to a damn thing he said. That brings me on to the other conspiracy theorist here, which is basically the idea that this was somehow a coordinated attack. Since there's no direct evidence of that, I'm going to tell you what I think this is. I do not think this was a coordinated attack. I do not think Zuckerberg and the heads of Google and Tim, got together and said, we're going to get Alex Jones. I don't think this happened. I mean, if somebody presents evidence of that, I will gladly retract that statement and change. But what I really think happened is this. Big-ass company A virtue signaled that they were anti-Alex Jones by deplatforming. Big company B then went, that's a good idea. Let's virtue signal too. Now big company C, which in this case was Apple's, like, our entire customer base is yuppie, trendy, yada 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 yadas. Or at least most of them. That's what's left. You know, are more thinking, are more technically inclined. No. We may lose some customers, but if we don't virtue signal, if we don't jump in on this, we might lose more. Because now it's going to be a thing. It's going to be like when those independent journalists call and go, hi, is there a reason you haven't deplatformed Alex Jones? And then some of that was going on too. You know, that some of that is why some of these other companies went on, where people were like, hi, would you like to comment on why you haven't deplatformed Alex Jones yet? So I don't think this was coordinated. I think this is indicative of where we are as a nation and how things work right now. And just the indicative echo chambers. Where, for some insane reason, these people thought that the best business move was to pile on and go, yeah, we virtue signal too. We virtue signal too. That's what they were doing. They were virtue signaling. One last point, because this is getting long. We're getting on 10 minutes. A direct question that was asked in the comments of another video is, do I think the FCC should regulate social media to make sure the Bill of Rights applies there? Okay, one, we've already established the Bill of Rights does not apply there. The fact that we as the public have turned over the public forum to the private sector, who has their terms of service, no. I would support court reform, where basically you're like, well, you're selectively enforcing your terms of service, or what terms of service did I actually violate, where you can basically go to civil court. And you can't force them to take your businesses, but if you were earning income off of them, you can basically acquire damages for them selectively enforcing their rules. If they're universally enforcing their rules, then hey, you know, they're allowed to have whatever stance they want. I don't think we should turn this over to the FCC because, you know, George Carlin made fun of this when he was still alive, that as well as several other people, you know, there's words you can't say. If you watch older television, married couples slept in separate beds. You know, it's like, what? How did they have a kid? You know, if that's the status of their relationship, how the heck do we have a child in this wholesome on-TV family? When you turn things over to even a government censor, everything's got to be wholesome and perfect. So no, I don't think that's the solution. I think the real solution is us being critical, and it's coming. You know, we've enjoyed a reprieve where we had free access to platforms that allow things to very quickly go viral and information to very rapidly disseminate. And anybody who's old enough to remember on how things disseminated, like back in the all your base days before we had YouTube and Facebook and the Twitters and so on and so forth, yeah. But so those are my thoughts on this. Last wrap up. As satirically as I can say it, thanks, Google and Apple overlords. Thanks for pouring gasoline on a fire. Thanks for this close to the midterm elections making Alex Jones a martyr. Thanks for shifting the votes. Thanks for being stupid. Regardless of why you did it, that's the result. And why do I have the feeling we're not done with this stupidity? Hi everyone. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. Almost no one does. At least that's what the analytics say here on YouTube. You know, since you made it this far, you might want to consider going one more click and expanding that description down there and go ahead and clicking over to Patreon and become a, patron and contributor. If not, you'll also find it over in the channel page. But hey, regardless, there's this dislike thing, so by all means, downvote if you think I should shut up, or upvote if you'd like to hear more. And if you really feel inclined to do, at least you can do a subscribe. But hey, It's up to you.